Hello, YouTube. I'm Chad with the Smoking Jorts Cafe. Got the jorts back there on the wall. For this cook, I'm doing beef back ribs. I haven't cooked beef back ribs in a while. And the reason is, a lot of times they're a little bit of a, I don't want to say jip, but I mean, they kind of are. For no more than what you get for what it costs. You know, it's usually better to go with, if you want to cook beef ribs, if you can't find the dino ribs, then go with the chuck ribs. And you can get chuck ribs pretty much anywhere that cuts their own short ribs. You can get the chuck ribs. You tell them you just want a whole thing of short ribs, and they'll bring you out the 4-bone chuck rib. But I was in Walmart just the other day, and I couldn't help but see these beef back ribs. Let me show them to you. Okay, here they are. You can see they're cryovac and all that good stuff. They were $24.25, which was $4.83 a pound. Says they're 5.02 pounds. A lot of that's gonna be bone, but here's why I got them. Usually I find these at somewhere like Kroger, and it's usually about half of this. And you got one that's a little bit bigger. They usually at Kroger, they'll come 2 to a pack. And you'll have one that's bigger and one that's a good bit smaller. Well, this one, man, this is the whole beef back rib, y'all. So I couldn't resist buying that. Which, if you're not familiar with what beef back ribs are, it's the ribs off of a ribeye. This is ribeye meat right here. So, like I said, I usually don't cook them. I usually go with the short rib or the plate rib, which the plate rib's the dino rib with the big bones everybody sees. But I couldn't turn this down when I saw it. I said, you know what? I hadn't done these in a while, so I'm gonna cook these up. I decided I would cook them up, like I said, and I think I'm gonna do something a little different on these that I haven't done before with these ribs. I'm gonna do a dry brine on them. I mean, I dry brine ribeyes, so why not dry brine the ribs off of a ribeye? So that's what I'm fixing to do. I'm gonna dry brine these overnight, and then tomorrow morning, I think I'm probably gonna cook them on the Pit Boss hog out there. Mostly because I'm running low on splits, and no more than that right there is. That's kind of a waste for my splits, and or not a waste for my splits, but kind of a waste for a big cooker like that. So I'll just throw them on my Pit Boss. And besides, I haven't done a pellet grill cook on here yet, so I'll do that, and so it'll be a kind of a laid back cook. But let me get these things. Let me get them salted up and get them back in the refrigerator. All right, y'all. I've got them all seasoned up here. Well, I say seasoned up. I've got the salt on them, and gonna let them brine overnight. And y'all, I kind of messed up as I was pulling it out of the package. If you know anything about these ribs, the membrane is kind of really the only thing that holds them together. Just beef ribs in general, and the big bone here was trying to come off. It's still somewhat connected, but I don't know what it's going to do when I'm cooking it. So I may wind up, when I start my cook, wrapping some twine around it, and just kind of, so this will hold its shape, and this big bone won't just fall off until I'm ready to cut it off. But yeah, so got to get these back in the refrigerator and just let them sit overnight, and I'll put them on in the morning sometime. It'll be like a normal rib cook, I would say, probably 4 to 5 hours. So, all right, let me get them back in the refrigerator, and I will see y'all in the morning. And just like that, through the magic of YouTube, it is the next morning, y'all. Good morning. Again, Chad, Smoking Jorts Cafe, barbecue. Got jorts on the wall. Let me get these beef back ribs out of the refrigerator and see how that brine, that salt brine, that dry brine I did on them. See how that worked out. And as you can see, the salt, the dry brine that I did, it did the job. The meat has taken in the salt, and it even changes the excuse me. It even changes the color of it a little bit. I guess maybe it's kind of starts a curing process. Not that it's cured, it's definitely not cured, but it kind of starts that process. That's my guess. That's probably why the color starts to change. But next thing I gotta do, I gotta decide what I want to season these up with. Do I want to go like a traditional beef rib where I just basically do salt and pepper and try to build that bark? I could do that, but these won't cook as long as those big dino ribs cook. This is like maybe 4 or 5 hours, whereas dino ribs, you're gonna cook those things for like 8 hours, 7, 8, maybe even 9 hours. So these are gonna cook a lot less, so they're not gonna have time to build that bark. So I may treat them more like a pork spare rib, and even go with something that might have just a little bit of sugar in it. Not much, a little bit. I've got an Asian rub over here that it's got a little heat to it, but it's got also has a little bit of sugar in it. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. I'll make a decision. But I'll check back in with y'all when I got them seasoned up. What about that? Okay, y'all, I have made my decision what I'm going to season these up with. I'm gonna go with some spicy SPG from Dad's, good stuff. Some of his sriracha, good stuff, got a little heat to it, y'all. And Asian Fusion, got a little heat, it's got a little bit of sugar in it, a little bit of brown sugar. So all of these rubs have got some heat to them. So these will not be ribs for the wife. These will be my ribs. She does not like spicy stuff, so these are for me. But let me get them seasoned up, and I'll see y'all after I have them seasoned up. Okay, y'all, I got them seasoned up, and here's what they look like. Here's what they look like. As you can see, I put some butcher's twine around this because if you remember earlier in the video, when I was taking it out of the package, this bone right here tried to fall off, this big bone. So I kind of want to keep it on there through the whole cook. But as mentioned, I seasoned it up with some spicy SPG, Asian Fusion, and some sriracha, all from Dad's. And I guess I'm giving him some a nice little shout out here, but I don't mind giving him a shout out. He's a good dude, and he's got some really good rubs. But I'm gonna get these on the pit, and as mentioned, we are cooking them on the Pit Boss. It's a pellet grill cook today. Okay, y'all, as mentioned, it is a pellet grill cook today. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and put them on here, and then fire the pit up to get a little extra smoke. I don't recommend y'all do that because you run the risk of boom. But I cleaned this thing out really good before, cleaned the fire pot out and cleaned all the grease and ash and all that out before I put these on there. So I'm starting out with a pretty clean cooker. And plus I'll watch it. If I see that something's going wrong, I'll cut it, I'll shut it down. But should be good to go. Let me get these on the pit and get this sucker fired up. Okay, y'all, I've got them on the pit. Time to fire it up. Fired it up. I'm gonna go ahead and close this lid down. Remember, I would only do this because I've got a really clean cooker. I just cleaned it out today, but you know, I'm still gonna watch it and make sure. And if I see anything wrong, I'll unplug it. But yeah, I got them on. Okay, I got them on, and the only problem with shooting a video for a pellet cook done on a pellet grill, it's gonna be loud. Pellet grills make a lot of noise, and I don't have a mic, so I'm going off of my microphone that's on the phone. But if we do some conversational stuff, I'll probably, you know what, I'll walk out there by BBH, and that's when we'll have a little conversation, if you will. I mean, it's a pellet grill, so it's pretty much a set and forget type thing, so we got a lot of time to conversate, y'all. What do you say? But I got this thing fired up, waiting to see the smoke, and then we're off. And just like that, we're up and running, y'all. I set the temp to 240. That should be 250 to 260 on the top rack there, and we smoking. That's a pellet grill for you. If I saw that in an offset, I'd feel sick. That's how pellet grills do. Okay, y'all, just a little note. I heard fire in the fire pot about 4 to 5 minutes after I turned this thing on. So y'all clean your pellet grills. Clean your fire pot out, clean the ash out, and it'll fire up quicker. You won't have to sit there and try to burn through all that old stuff to get to the new pellets so that you can actually get some flames. You'll actually fire it up quicker. It'll start cooking quicker. So just, you know, clean your grills. What about that? Just clean your grills, y'all. All right, see y'all on the on one of the check-ins, I guess. All right, y'all, I had to come out here and shoot something by BBH just because. Feels kind of funny not cooking on it, particularly for this channel, but hey, what are you gonna do? Needed to do a pellet grill cook anyway, and honestly, I haven't cooked on my pellet grill in a while. I've been locked into this dude right here, cooking on this mug for a while, so should be a nice little relaxing day of cooking. Plus, it's like gonna rain on and off all day long, and it'd be miserable sitting out here in the rain trying to tend a fire. So we shall go with the pellet grill. It's what they're there for, and they produce good results too. They do. Anyway, I'll see y'all when I'm ready to check on the ribs. What about that? Okay, y'all, it has been about an hour. Actually, looking at my clock, it's been about an hour and 20 minutes. And in this lighting, it makes me look like I've only got one eyebrow. I promise y'all, I've got two. Time to check on them. Like it's about an hour, 20 minutes. Hadn't been watching anything because we're pellet grill cooking, y'all. We ain't got to babysit it. So let's have a look at it. All right, we are, as I said, an hour and 20 in. And to me, that's looking good. No need to do anything. No need to do anything to that. Just keep letting it cook. I'll mainly check it every hour just to make sure nothing is burning. You kind of worry about burning stuff in pellet grills because the heat source is so close. Even when it's up off the fire, the fire is up under it. So the heat source is really close to it, much closer than on my my offset out there. So, but about every hour I'm gonna check it, and I'm guessing, like I mentioned earlier, 4 to 5 hours on the cook. It's going to be a lot like some spare ribs. What I have to determine is, do I want to wrap them? I probably won't wrap in butcher paper. If I wrap, I'll probably wrap in foil. But do I want to wrap them, or do I just want to, leave them unwrapped? We'll see. But it depends, and it depends on how dark they're looking, I guess. If they get to looking pretty dark, I'll probably go ahead and wrap. But if they're not, I may just leave them open and finish them off open. But we'll see. All right, y'all. Pellet grill cook, beef back ribs at the Smoking Jorts Cafe barbecue channel. Y'all stay tuned. Okay, y'all, quick note. You probably noticed the dead plants in the planters here. So we always take a family vacation for about a week around this time, so every year, and we always wait until after then before we get back and we plant some more plants in the planters, because if we plant something and we leave for a week, it'll be dead when we get back. So we always just wait till we get back. So don't judge me on my planters, y'all, please. I guess I could pull the dead ones out before we go. I may do that, but yeah, so that's the story on that. All right, see y'all on the next check-in. Okay, y'all, we are at the 3-hour check-in. So let's have a look, see what these are looking like, whether I need to spritz them or whether they're ready to wrap or whatever. All right, let's see what they look like. That's what they're looking like. Getting some good bone pull back. Looking pretty decent. I think I will do a little bit of spritzing. Just a little apple cider vinegar and water. I don't see anything burning, and nothing's really drying out, so I think I'm gonna let them go for another hour. Yeah, nothing was burning. Didn't look like anything was drying out, which those are beef back ribs. They're from a ribeye, so they've got a lot of fat on them, so it's gonna be tough to dry them out. But burning them is the main concern. And it's not really looking just super dark yet, so I think I'm gonna let them run another hour, and that'll be 4 hours. And then I may finish them off in a wrap, probably for the last hour, because I'm betting it's gonna be 5 hours on the cook. I was getting some good pullback on the bones though, but you get that out of beef ribs just in general anyway. They're not like pork ribs where it takes a while to get that bone pullback. Beef ribs, you start getting it pretty quick, because there's not a lot just holding them to the bone anyway, not like a pork rib. But yep, so I'm gonna keep cooking, and see y'all in another hour unless I see you sooner. Okay, real quick, because a lot of people want to know generally. Running applewood pellets, and it's applewood and oak. Most everything is whatever and oak. Oak is usually a main ingredient in pellets in these, but so for what that's worth, I mean, it's a Pit Boss pellet. I found that in the Pit Boss, at least in mine, I have less violent temperature swings out of Pit Boss pellets than I do other pellets, which I guess kind of makes sense, because I'm sure when they designed these cookers, they ran their own pellets in it. So it's probably configured for what they're producing. And I mean, it's just kind of a bargain pellet, but my taste buds aren't attuned enough to be able to tell you different brands of pellets and different flavors of pellets anyway. The main difference I see is in the bark. That's I get better bark out of just a pellet like just an applewood pellet or a hickory pellet than I do, say, like a competition blend where it's a whole bunch of different blends. But that's really the only difference I can see. Anyway, though, I figured some of y'all would probably want to know. But that's it. All right, still cooking, y'all. All right, y'all, I have taken them off, and I'm gonna wrap them with a little bit of butter. Probably some more of the Asian rub. I'll probably sprinkle that in there too, and just give them a spritz with the apple cider vinegar. But here's what they're looking like. That is what they're looking like, y'all. That bark is just right. I like the color. It's not too dark. And so far, the twine has done its job. It's held it together. But I'm gonna get this wrapped up. I normally, and there's flies here, I normally wrap ribs, particularly pork ribs, face down. But with these, I think I'm just gonna leave them up. I'm just gonna put the stuff on top of them. All right, let me get them. Let me get everything wrapped up and put back on the cooker to finish off. By the way, I temped them. I cheated. I usually don't tempt, but I temped them and they were 180. So perfecto. This is probably close to 4.5 hours. No. 3.5 hours. I'm sorry, close to 3.5 hours. All right, y'all. See y'all when I get them back on the pit. Okay, y'all, I got them back on the pit. I'm gonna let them finish. I might have made a boo-boo and wrapped them shiny side out. I don't know if it matters. They say shiny side in because it reflects heat, but you know, it can reflect heat, that's fine. But now we just get them finished off. Probably, I was at 180, so it's gonna cool them down with the butter I put in there. The butter and the spritz and all, it'll cool them down a little bit. So it'll probably drop them down somewhere into the 170s and stall them out just a hair. And then they'll come back up. So I would say another hour. So this will probably wind up being a 4.5 hour cook, which I'm fine with. All right, let me get these finished, y'all. Beef back ribs, y'all stay tuned. I gotta say, y'all, it's been a while since I've cooked on the pellet grill in the summertime. I'm usually, when summer comes around, man, I'm offset cooking it. But particularly like during the day, I forgot how much flies absolutely love the pellet grill, y'all. They are everywhere out here. I mean, they're everywhere, but they don't mess with my offset. I guess they don't like all the hot from the fire or something. I don't know. But man, they love a pellet grill. I'm not quite 4.5 hours yet, and I'm gonna check it at 4.5 hours. It's gonna be close. I don't know if it's gonna be ready yet, but it is gonna be close. I'll say that much. So I'll see y'all at the 4.5 hour check-in. Okay, y'all, I am about 4.5 hours in, so let's open it up and check it just to see. It's probably not quite ready, but if it is, I'll go ahead and pull it. So let's open it up and see. Okay, let's see what we got. I can already tell they're tender as can be. All right, let me check the temp. Find a spot that I don't hit a bone on. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be in the 190s, which isn't quite enough yet. So I'm gonna wrap it back up I'm looking to take it into the low 200s. But let me wrap it back up, and probably another 30 minutes. So it'll be 5 hours. If I like my spare ribs. All right, y'all. Let me get them right back up. Okay, y'all. I got them back on. It was temping. I temped about 2 different spots on it. It was temping, I think, what was it, 191 in one spot, 192, maybe 194 in the other spot, something like that. But it's in the 190s, which I generally like to take them into the 200s. Hey, there's my son. He's spying on me, y'all. I generally like to take them into the 200s, and then they're good and tender. You know, you see that guy on the internet, the tenderism guy or whatever, when he's got the beef ribs and they just fall off the bone and all. Well, you know, that's not hard to achieve on beef ribs, y'all. Just a little secret. And that does mean beef ribs are done. But yeah, the fall off the bone of beef ribs is pretty easy to do. And quite frankly, it's easy to do on pork ribs too, but that means pork ribs are overcooked. But beef ribs, nah, they do that because there's not a lot holding them to the bone anyway. But I'm, yeah, probably another 30 minutes out. So about a 5-hour cook, and then I'll rest them for like an hour, and then we will slice them and eat them. Sounds good to me, y'all. All right, y'all. It's been basically 5 hours, so I think I'm gonna call it. I've got plenty of bone pull back there, so it's wanting to fall off the bone, which is fine with beef ribs. So I'm gonna call it, get them off, and rest them for about an hour. Then we're gonna slice them up, and we're gonna eat them. Got a little noise out here now. Somebody got a mower going. All right, I hear him coming by. Let me get them off and rest them, y'all. All right, y'all, I got them off and I'm resting them here. Like I said in the other video, when I was taking them off, got a mower running around right here. So hopefully when it's time to slice, he'll be somewhere where you won't be able to hear him. But yeah, but right around a 5-hour cook, and they should turn out good. But I'll see y'all when I slice them up and we have our taste test. Beef back ribs, y'all. Gonna be good. Okay, y'all, I have sliced them up, and I gotta admit, the bones on these things are crazy. They're crooked as all get out. I guess I see why now Kroger cuts them into 2 smaller ones. And here comes the mower. All right, see y'all at the taste test. Okay, y'all. There's the finished product. Nice little smoke ring. Beautiful bark. Actually got a great bark on there. And look at that bone though. Look how crooked the bone is. That's gonna be why Kroger cuts them into two different racks, because the bones are crooked, or at least it's crooked on this one. That's my take. Still got a mower out there, but I'm gonna try to do this through the mower because they're hot and I want to eat them right now. So let me do a little taste test. Yep. Here's another one. You can see, that's the complaint with beef backs. There's not a ton of meat on them. And my complaint with these is, look how crooked the bone is. That's the bone jutting off right there. Look at that. Anyway, I'll try a bite. Mmm. Ooh. Boy. Tell you what. Mmm. It's got some heat. I like it. Okay, y'all. Cooking wrap up. And if you remember, if you've seen my early videos, probably my first video that I posted, I promised y'all I would be honest on this channel. I'd be honest of my thoughts and how cooks went. I wouldn't hide anything. So here we go. The cook went great. The flavor was fantastic. The rubs I used, the Asian fusion, the sriracha, the spicy SPG, just fantastic. And they were spicy, y'all, which is what I wanted. The tenderness, spot on. You bite that sucker, it pop right off that bone, just great. The bark surprised the crap out of me. I did not expect that kind of bark off of a cook that was like 5 hours long. You know, I just didn't expect it. Nice dark bark, which is kind of a testament both to the rubs that I used and the cooker that I cooked it on, which, by the way, y'all, it was a pellet cooker. Cooked it on a pellet cooker. But here comes the brutally honest part of this video. Beef back ribs. They are a gimmick. I think I mentioned something similar in the beginning, that they're kind of looked down on. And I used to cook them, and I stopped, and I remember now why. I see now why. There's not a lot of meat on them rascals. I'm talking about that much meat on the bone, y'all. The meat on it was tender and flavorful, but if I'm a butcher, I'm leaving that meat on the bone and leaving it on the ribeye. Just let it be part of the bone-in ribeye, because, man, it's just not enough of it especially for the price. Now, if you give like $5 for that, sure, but like that's basically $25 for a bunch of bones with a little bit of meat. You can go and give about $30 for some chuck ribs or short ribs, whatever you want to call them. It's the 4-bone ribs with that much meat on them. Probably over twice the meat. At least twice the meat, and I would say over twice the meat than what you get off of those beef back ribs. And if you can find the plate ribs, you can probably get a rack of those for $50 to $60, and it's as much meat, big as my freaking head almost. Way over double the meat. So, I don't know, y'all. I just wouldn't do it. And another thing, and this is a shot at, I don't want to say a shot at it, but this is what Walmart, this is what they're giving you. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that bone. Y'all see that? That popping off the top of it there? Which is inedible. I guess that's cartilage. I don't know. It makes it almost impossible to slice them straight. And like I said, you can't eat that part. It's basically maybe like the rib tips of beef back ribs, but the only difference is rib tips, like on pork spare ribs, you can eat the rib tips. You can't eat that. That's just, and by the way, you're charged for that. That's completely inedible, and you're charged for it. So, in conclusion, the cook was fantastic, flavor was fantastic, tenderness was spot on, But beef back ribs, no. If you can't find plate ribs or chuck ribs, then just get yourself some pork ribs and let that do it. Anyway, this has been Chad with the Smoking George Cafe. Got the jorts on the wall back there. And I'll see y'all on the next cook. Don't know what it's going to be yet. We're going on vacation, so I'll think about it while we're out on, vacationing. But regardless, I will see y'all on the next cook, and like and subscribe, as they say. So anyway, y'all, peace out.